All right, guys, we're recording, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm so excited to talk about this because this is one of the things that is like nearest and dearest to my heart, and that's leadership. I think leadership, it's so important. It's so crucial, not only in this business, but in life in general. You either are a follower or a leader. Those are your only two options. And so both have their, responsibilities, both have their role, but so many of us would rather be a leader, but we have to develop that. Everyone starts as a follower. And so we've got to develop into the leader we want to be. And so we've got to talk about how we do that. First and foremost, I don't care what rank you are, you need to decide that you are going to be a leader in that rank. Just because you just got started and you don't have any distributors doesn't mean that you aren't in a position to start learning leadership, because one day you hope to have them. So you have to decide right here, right now. Do you want to be a ruby or do you want to be a ruby leader? Do you want to be an emerald or do you want to be an emerald leader? Do you want to be a triple diamond or a triple diamond leader? Those are two separate things. Anyone can hit that rank. Anyone can fill those volumes, fill that chart. Anyone can be diamond, but not everyone will be a diamond leader. So if you're just looking to ride the ranks, make the money, do whatever you got to do and kind of chill and float, go ahead and hop off, because this is not for you. This is for those who want to develop their leadership, who want to continue to grow as a team, cultivate a great environment, pour into people, grow people, not just focus on yourself and your paycheck, right? So hopefully we got people now who are serious about growing their leadership and doing the most for their team. Leadership is a process, not a position. You are not a good leader because you were put in a leadership position. Leaders lead from within, they lead from the heart, and leadership is something that you earn. It's something that you have to work for over time, that you have to create credibility, that you have to stand up and deserve to be a leader. We have to lead from the front, first and foremost. That is why if you look at any chart, I'm at the top because I'm my first leader. I'm my first runner. I am the one that should be doing the most work. We have to lead from the front. Our team will never do even half of what we are doing. So before you sit down and complain that my team's not working, before you sit there and hit refresh on your downline orders over and over and over again, before you send out a message asking your team to do something, look in the mirror and decide, am I willing to do 10 times what I'm asking of my team? Yes, I'm checking my downline orders and there's no enrollments, but hey, why am I not enrolling? We have to act first. We have to run and lead first from the front. Your team will not take you seriously. Your team will not work harder than you. Your team will notice if what you are saying and what you are doing are not matching up. People follow actions. They don't follow the words. They won't follow your training. They will follow your growth. They won't follow you saying, be consistent. They will follow you as they see how you are being consistent, how you are posting consistent, messaging consistent. When you say you're going to do those trainings one time a week and then don't feel like it and just don't show up for your team, they see that inconsistency. They can see that and they can sense that, and they are not going to do what you are not going to do. They're not. So you have to show up first. You have to work harder first. So as a leader, what can we do for our team? First and foremost, it is your duty to believe in your team, in the individual, more than they believe in themselves. Let that sink in. It is your duty, it is your obligation to believe in your new distributors more than they believe in themselves. Why? Because you've been there. Even if you were there, you just started a week ago, when you sign up a new distributor, you've been there. You are where they have been, and so they don't know what it takes. They don't know what to do. They don't know if they can do it. I don't care if it's the most confident person in the world jumping in, ready, gung-ho. They don't know that they can do it. They don't have the belief. You've been there. You've already got through a week, a month, 6 months, 3 years. You've already done that. So now it's your turn, your obligation to turn around and then believe in them way more than they believe in themselves. This is so important. You started this whole thing with vision casting, didn't you? When you messaged someone, did you not say, oh my goodness, you'd be so great at this, or I would love to work with you, or I think you would be awesome? You are creating a vision for them they yet don't see. So when they join, why do you stop? Why do you be like, oh, well, figure it out now. Like, you're in here, you got this. You already created this. They join because you put in their head that they can do this. So now that they are in, it's even more important to pour into that avenue, to pour into that ego that you can do this. You can sign up 4 customers in 72 hours. You can go Ruby in 30 days. You can do this even though your husband doesn't think you can. It's okay because I know you can. I see that potential in you. And you have to be consistent in believing in them more. And it's not just like oh, I'll believe in you for now. When their belief matches yours, you got to raise the bar. Guys, when I was going diamond, I gave up. Not even I almost gave up. I gave up. I was on my way to conference back in January, and we drove from North Georgia. It was a freaking long behind drive. I was so tired and exhausted of being in this stupid little car, and I've been working my butt off. It was like 3 days before the end of the month, and I was still like 2,000 in volume away, and I'm like, it's impossible. Like, I can't even freaking do this. I have no more people I can message, no more people to message, no more people to think of. I don't know what to do. I've done everything. I'm done. I can't do this. And in that moment, both my husband and my upline looked at me, and they were like, sucks. Figure it out. You're going to do it. And I was like, no, I can't do it. And that's like my upline. She sent me aside, voice memoing me like, look, you can do this. Stop giving up on yourself. Stop getting in your own way. You've done it before. Move those obstacles. You know what? Go message 20 more people. Go add 10 more people to your page. Go ask more people to host a post. Go do more because you can do this. I signed the biggest order I have ever signed minutes later, kept pushing, and I went diamond at like the buzzer while at conference. But it wasn't because I thought I could do it. It wasn't because I was like, yeah, this will be freaking awesome. I'm so excited to go diamond. This money will be great. Like, I got this. At all. It was because someone took the time to believe in me when I didn't believe in myself. Borrowed belief matters. Borrowed belief counts. It is just as important. So until your girls are there, as they're going in their journey, you have got to believe and pour into them more than they believe in themselves. The second thing we can do as leaders is we can give them the tools to be successful the moment they join. I see it happen so many times where girls hop in and then they're so lost or overwhelmed. And I think it should be a very structured approach. Do whatever beginning trainings you guys have. That's fine. I know every team's got some different things in place. But what really to the core of what tools they need is they need to know how to post. They need to know how to host a post. They need to know that their first goal is 4 customers, that their second goal is 3 distributors, that they complete their steps to success. If we are not stressing this, how do we expect them to complete their steps to success every month if they have never even heard steps to success? Okay, it's 4 customers, 3 distributors. Now what? Now we are pounding fast starts. You just got 3 distributors, that's $300. We just need 6 customers. And then we're going to go teach your distributors to do what you just did in your Ruby. It compounds. But if we are throwing them in of watch this, okay, now look at this, and tag them in 30 things, there's so much going on. They cannot focus and they lose sight of the immediate direction. The immediate direction, first 4 customers, first 3 distributors, go Ruby. That is their first 3 steps. Once they're Ruby, now it falls onto them. Are they going to be Ruby leader? If they're a Ruby leader, then they should be doing their training, more personal development. And then again, taking all of that, duplicating it, and putting into place with their distributors. So then they are out getting their first 4 customers, 3 distributors going Ruby. Boom, she's Emerald now. You see, duplication is so important. So we want to keep it simple. We want to give them those tools. We want to help them. I personally have put together the first 7 days of post for my girls. I ain't got no excuse when they join. They at least got to give me a week. Now, what does this do for us? For me, I use this as a huge tool to test their market. If they don't sign their first 4 customers in their first 7 days with these posts, then we've got some issues. We have to address our market. We need to weed people out and bring a lot more people in. And it's apparent. If they sign 20 customers their first week off of these posts, we got a good market. Now we got to focus more on quality. How are we going to write our own posts going forward? How are we going to go live? How are we going to take advantage of this warm market we already have? So that's one of the things that I personally do with my girls. Next, what can we do as a leader? We can be available. No, there's no such thing as an it works emergency. If you are having time with your family or dinner or whatever, it's cool, take your time. My phone stays on do not disturb more than it doesn't, because I had to prioritize me, my business, my time. But at the same time, you want to be available. Set hours. Anytime from 2 to 7. If you need me, you message me. I got you. Because we want to open the door of availability to our team so they are not scared to then reach out. What else can we do as a leader? Groups are great, but the individual is greater. Group chats are so simple. I get it. And group chats, in my opinion, have a place. We have a newbie to Ruby chat. The first thing I do with every new distributor is add them to that chat and then shout them out. Because then we've got all of these other girls like, oh my goodness, welcome. We're so excited to have you. And that makes it real. And yes, I will use my group chat for, updates. If we have a product update, instead of sending it to everyone individually, I'll just throw it in the chat. We have a Zoom reminder, throw it in the chat. I'll share, Mark's live to the chat. That's chat-worthy things on my part as a leader. Now, the chat is a great place for new distributors to ask questions. And then as a leader, I'm going to step back and cultivate, another level of leaders and allow my team to help the newbies in our group chat. But guys, group chats are just for that kind of thing. You don't want to check in on people. You don't want all of that in a group setting. There's so much more power and intimacy in the individual. You should be checking in with your girls, especially in their first couple of weeks, like every other day, at least a couple times a week. How's it going? You finished the training. How's it going? You got a post up yet? Okay, so have we started host to post? Okay, so here's this, this, and this. What are you still struggling with? What do you think you're doing really good at? And then our next thing is that people will kill for recognition. I am one of those people. You can ask my upline, you bring out a contest or say that you're going to make an announcement about me. If there's a chance someone will know my name, I'm all about it. That is just me. That's how I go. A lot of people have that. So what do we do as leaders to use this to our advantage and to our team's advantage? We shout out everything. They just got a shopping spree, it better be on your page. They hit a promotion, it better be on your page. One, you're going to tag them in it. So what is this going to do? One, it's going to show your market that, oh my goodness, not only is she bringing on new team members, but they're successful. But then it shows up on her page that she's successful. She's hitting these milestones. She's got upper people in her company shouting her out. Maybe I want to join her. Another really great thing is interviews. I love doing interviews with newbies. I like to wait a little bit so they're a little bit more comfortable, give them a few weeks, maybe a month, but then hop on an interview. One, this gets their first live out of the way. They're doing it with you, so it's not as scary. But two, then this shows your market as well as their market that different people can be good at this. Share a little bit of your story and then ask probing questions for them to share some of their story. You just help them write their story on a live, which then conquers the fear of going live, shows your audience that you are not the only one that can be successful in this. Another person in another avenue, another age, another place, another life can also be successful. And then that goes to their page because we're going to tag them in it. And then now everyone can see, one, the relationship that this girl is not doing this alone, so they know if I jump in, I won't be alone. And two, they get to hear some of your story and know that the girl is not the only way and the only kind of people that can be successful, that there's this other person that can be successful. So those are also a really awesome thing. Another thing, take initiative. Instead of being angry, humble yourself to serve. Christ was the best leader in history. Yet he was the most humble man in history. I don't know how much you guys know about the Bible, but one of my favorite stories, especially when it parallels to leadership, is when Jesus washes the feet of the disciples. I went live and talked about this a couple days ago. It was really funny. I made some weird jokes with me. But this is so important, and especially it's important to understand if you want to be a good leader, because, you know, this act of washing someone's feet was not something like you called your servant, you know, that was in the gardening, come wash these people's feet for me, you know, they're my guests. Like, no, this is this guy's only job. Like, that's it. All he does is wash feet for a living. And it's probably a crappy living, but like, that's it. He's not allowed to do anything else because he's so unclean. He's so lowly that this is the best he gets. And Christ Jesus was like, I got this, bro. And humbled himself. And he showed there we have to lead from the front. We have to lead by action. We have to lead by humility. So what do we have to do? Sometimes we have to put our team first. Like, yeah, I know that promotion is going to be awesome, but is it worth, running over people? What if you help someone go groovy? Guys, I love this. I don't have my notes out. Wasn't planning on talking about it, so I don't have the actual numbers. But every promotion in this company is built on rubies. So help 2 people go ruby. Boom, you just went emerald. Help 3 people go ruby. You just went diamond. And it compounds. So focus on ruby. Help your team go ruby. Ruby is so monumental. It's the first stepping stone. That gives them a little taste, and then they're going to want more and keep pushing, and then more people get to go ruby. And if you focus on ruby and cultivate your team to focus on ruby, you will organically promote. Your team will organically promote because you are so focused on the bottom, on the rubies, and helping as many people go ruby as possible. Before you know, there's like 3 million rubies below, and you're like freaking rocking. So what's another thing we can do to humble ourselves? We can be the one to reach out. This is one thing I got from Tiffany Her. I just fell in love with. And so she reaches out to her girls anytime that she noticed they slacked on posting or anything like that, and not in a way that a lot of us do. A lot of us are angry. Like, I gave you every tool you freaking need. Just throw the post up and get done. Like, I did this on my own. You can too. How quick do we have that mindset, right? Well, what she was talking about she does is she messages them and is like, what more can I do? Boom. Talk about a switch. What more can you guys do for me? So what more can I do for you? And so here's a couple examples of messages. I'm so proud of you, and I'm praying for you, plus a task. You were sweet, you were talking, and then like, hey, why don't you go try to message 30 people? Maybe a little much, but I noticed the past few days you haven't been posting. Are you feeling okay, or have you been busy? What can I do to make it easier? I have a girl on my team right now who's going through cancer. And so we've talked throughout her treatment. She's taking a little time back right now, fully respected. And we were talking when she was first getting started and just had the diagnosis. She had the biopsy and wasn't really feeling well. And I was able to go with this approach instead of you're on my chart, I needed you to go emerald approach. And I was able to message her like, hey boo, like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Is there anything more I can do? If I sent you a post in the morning, would it help? She was like, dude, yes. So I sent her a post in the morning, and I sent her scripts to deal with it so she could throw up a post while dealing with recovery and all of that. And then if someone commented, she already had the scripts to respond. So she was able to work her business even when she was going through this traumatic thing. And it took, 5 seconds of my day? As leaders, can we not give that much back? 5 seconds in the morning to send a post because they're going through some crap, right? We can totally do that. And I had a girl whose sister was in the hospital. Hey boo, how's it going? How's your sister doing? Would you like me to start sending you posts in the morning? till her mom or her sister got out of the hospital. And this is not something that you want to just enable people to make excuses. But if stuff is going on, as a leader, it's our place to step up and take care of our girls, to take care of our team. And if it's as simple as sending them a post, like, are we so big and bad that we can't do that? As a leader, we should do that. We should do that without even blinking an eye. Another thing as a leader is we should be a teacher. Never hold back on tips. Like, blow your team up with tips. What is working for you may work for them, and it may not, but why not give them the opportunity? Like, guys, this post is blowing up. Change it up some, and then you try it. Here's what I've been saying. Boom. Fantastic. And that's a good leadership quality, is to be that teacher. Again, we want to stress the steps to success. But since we're leading from the front, make sure as you are stressing your steps to success, you are at least completing your steps to success. 4 customers, 3 distributors every single month. And as you are pushing as a leader, I recommend pushing to at least double that. You want your team to complete the steps to success, use 2 times the steps to success. Show them that that is possible. Pave the way so they can follow and complete their steps to success. Again, we're going to stress fast starts. Guys, fast starts are so crucial to this business. 5 checks a week or 5 checks a month versus 1. Come on. Everyone wants that. So we want to make sure we are stressing not only the fast starts, but how to get them. We've got to bring in team members, and we've got to train our team members. So you don't want to just sign someone and let them go. Like, these are the steps we're going to put into place so that when you sign a distributor, you're helping them get their first 2 customers. That's why duplication and simplicity is so important. We want our newbies to be able to bring in newbies and then help them get their first 2 customers. We're getting fast starts along the way. We're getting caps as you're higher up. Like, it's so important to have that simplified duplication. Another thing is to host Zooms. I know Zooms are scary sometimes. I'll tell you a fun story. I did a Zoom training. My first Zoom training was back in January. I was pushing Diamond. I felt so good. I was on fire, like, just the beginning of the month, and I was like, I'm doing it. Changing our lives. I'm going Diamond. I'm doing things differently. And so I blew up this Zoom meeting. It's going to be the best training ever. You don't want to miss it. I took polls about what would be the best time. I was reminding people. I was so excited to do this training. And so I hop on, and 30, 40 minutes pass, and it was just me. And I just stared at myself the whole time on the screen, like fighting back tears in case someone hopped on. And I sat there for the full duration that I had planned to do the meeting. And I took a photo of it and wrote like a journal entry about how I felt, how defeated I felt. And I was like, but it's not going to stay that way. But it's going to change. And guys, I was so scared to do a Zoom. Like, I was so scared because, like, that was like soul crushing. I was devastated. But I knew as a leader, I had to get over that so that my team would be okay. The last Zoom I did with a couple of other top leaders I had on, and we almost maxed it out. We had almost 100 people on. And that was since January, that was 6 months difference. So Zooms can be scary, but the thing is as you do it, as you get more regular, as your team starts working, and as your team starts catching that vision, they are going to grow. So even if your first one's kind of, a little rocky, I know Cheyenne Knox talks about her first one. It was 2 people. So even if it starts out slow, remember, everyone starts out slow. Every leader started there. You just got to keep showing up, because you want to keep showing up, because eventually people will need you to show up. So if you keep showing up, the people that need you to show up will also eventually show up. Another really good thing as a teacher is to schedule one-on-one Zooms. I try to do this with all of my newbies. We've slacked a little bit this month because we've been moving, but try to hop on a one-on-one Zoom call, something, and go over things. Go over the steps to success. Go over Ruby. Zoom's really good because you can share screens. You can literally walk them through steps to success in Ruby. answer any questions they still have. I try to give them a little bit of time to get through all of our training, that kind of stuff, so we have a base of knowledge to start with. But that is an amazing tool. One, you're building that relationship, that comfortability, and then two, it's a face-to-face where you have the opportunity to answer those questions. And lastly, as leaders, we have to have a leadership mindset, not just cultivating our minds in general with personal development, but we have to specifically cultivate our minds in a leadership fashion. We have to stop focusing on what our team can't do and start focusing on what more we can do. We have to stop checking our downline orders and getting salty when there's no enrollments. You go get some enrollments. We just stop valuing our promotions over our teams. If you can help 5 people go Ruby, you go Diamond. If you can help 11 people go Ruby, you go Triple. If you can help 22 go Ruby, you go Prez. And then if you can help 54 people go Ruby, you will be an Ambassador Diamond. And always remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You're not going to be a good leader if you haven't taken the time to pour back into yourself. Your personal development is so important. Your business is so important. Your family is so important. Your you time is so important. You cannot train, lead, and pour into people and their soul from an empty cup, from an empty place, from a place of despair, from a place of scarcity. We have got to grow, build, and pour into ourselves in such a fashion that we are overflowing into our team. I know every one of you has the possibility, the capability, and deserve to be a great leader. It's now our job to become that great leader we're destined to be. This is just a great starting place, and I'll try to do some more leadership trainings. I'm doing a John Maxwell course right now. But guys, you have to start at start. Everyone starts at start. So stop comparing this leadership to yours. Stop, well, I don't have a working team. I don't have a team at all. We all started there. We all started at start. So stop making excuses and start showing up as a good leader. I love you guys.